This is the 4.3 presentation of writing linear equations in point-slope form. Before we get into that though, let's do a quick review of a problem where we are writing the equation of a line when we get a slope and we get a point. So in this case, our slope is 4. My point is -4, -5. So I'm just going to fill that into y equals mx plus b format. So y equals mx plus b. My y here is -5. My m is 4. My x is -4. And we're going to try to figure out what that b is. So -5 is still -5. -4 times 4 is -16 plus b. And then we are going to, in this case, add 16 to both sides to figure out our b. So we add 16 here and we add 16 here. And then I'll cross out, and our b is going to be 11. So our equation is going to be y equals 4x plus 11. So that's kind of along the lines of what we've been doing before. Today we're going to be doing something completely different. Now, if you remember from way back in March when we went over equations and stuff, I mentioned to you guys that there are several forms of equations and ways that we can write them. And we've been focusing on slope-intercept now for over a month, so we've been really putting in the time on that. And today what we're just going to explore, and we're going to be doing this over the next 3 days, is just writing an equation in point-slope form. It's not my top favorite. My favorite is slope-intercept, but this is a way of writing it. And to be honest with you, it's super, super easy, and I think you're going to find like, wow, this is like something I kind of like doing compared to maybe some of the other things we've been doing. So I think you'll find this is like really, really a neat way of doing it. It's a little bit longer, but it's super fast and easy to do. So let's get into it. So just to review, formula for slope is change in y over change in x, which is the pink, which I've been showing you over the last few presentations. The official book formula for slope is the blue one, which is y minus y sub 1 over x minus x sub 1. But it's just basically our change in our y over our change in our x. So this is the form of the equation of point slope. It's y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. The y sub 1 and the x sub 1 are going to come from actual coordinates in a graph, and the m is going to come from our slope. So really all we're going to be doing here is just filling in points. It's like super easy. So let's take a look at an example. So I want to write an equation in point slope form that's got the point, and I should probably highlight this, 5, -7, and its slope is -4. So we're going to be putting it into this equation format. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. Okay. My y is -7. So that's going to go, oh, that was not a good color choice. I apologize. My -7 is going to go here from my y because this is part of my point. Okay. My x is 5. So my x is going to go into this point right here. Okay. And then the slope is going to go in from -4. So it's going to go in right here. Okay. And then we just need to simplify it if necessary. So y minus -7, minusing a negative number is the same as adding. So this becomes y plus 7. And the -4 for our slope stays the same, and x minus 5 stays the same. So that's it. We're done. Our answer is y plus 7 equals -4 times x minus 5 in parentheses. It's that simple. So let's take a look at another example. So in this case, I've got the point -5, 16 and a slope of 22. So my point is -5, 16. Okay, so my 16 is going to go in for my y. My -5 is going to go in for my x. And then my slope is 22. So my slope is going to go here. Okay, y minus 16, there's nothing to simplify. I just leave it at y minus 16. My slope, there's nothing to simplify with my slope. I do have to simplify something here with my x because I have x minus negative 5. So I'm going to take this and become, because it's minusing a negative, it becomes positive. So this becomes then y minus 16 equals 22 times x minus 5 in parentheses. That's it. We're done. It's that easy to do. So let's take a look at a few more examples, right? So in this case, I want to write an equation in point slope that goes through the points 3, 1, all right, and it's got a slope of 3/2. So again, all I've got to do is fill in. I'm going to fill in my y at 1. I'm going to fill in my x at 3, and I'm going to fill in my slope at 3/2. So when I write this, I'm going to write y minus 1 equals, and then my slope is 3/2. Okay, and then I have to put the parentheses, and this is going to be x minus 3. And that's it. Okay, let's take a look at another couple examples, and then we'll be done. So here we go. I've got the point negative 3, negative 9, and I've got the slope of 7/3. Man, that's a tough looking slope, but it's going to be super easy to write this. Okay, I'm going to go y minus, and my y here is negative 9. So I'm going to do y minus negative 9 equals, my slope is 7/3 times, and then this is going to be x, and then I have minus negative 3. So that when I simplify this, this becomes y plus 9. My slope stays 7/3. And this is going to become x plus 3. All right. So let's do, oops, I forgot my parentheses. We'll do one final problem, and then we'll call it good. So again, point goes through 1, negative 2. And my slope is 3/2. So we're going to mix up the colors here a little bit. Getting wild and crazy here. So this become y minus, and again, my y here is negative 2. Equals, my slope is 3/2 times x minus 1. And I won't have to simplify anything with the x, but I do have to simplify with my y. So this becomes y plus 2 equals 3/2 times x minus 1. So really what you need to get from this section is just be able to fill in the points to create this formula. And it'd be a good idea to have this formula written down in your notes right here. So you have that so that you know how to fill it in. All right. So that's going to take care of the rest of this week of flexible learning. On Wednesday, I want you to take a look at problems 1, 3, and 5 on page 245. And I bet if you work really hard at it, you can get it done in less than 5 minutes. And then I want you to do the same thing on Thursday, do problems 4, 6, and 7. Again, I'm going to challenge you to try to get her done in 5 minutes. On Friday, I got a couple extra problems there, so I'm going to work you a little harder and see if you can do problems 8 through 12. So hopefully you find this formula really easy for you to fill in, and hope you have a great weekend.